वन राइट। काफी एक्साइटेड दिख रहे लोग आज सेशन के लिए एंड रियली हैप्पी टू सी दिस राइट। वेलकम एवरीवन। सो जस्ट वांटेड टू नो दैट इज माय ऑडियो वीडियो क्लियर टू एवरीवन ऑफ यू? इफ इट इज क्लियर जस्ट राइट क्लियर इन अ चैट बॉक्स. If it is clear just write clear in a chat box so that I'll be able to understand. लिखो ना right. Please write clear in the chat box if my audio video is clear. People from YouTube, right? If you can hear me out properly, just write clear in a chat box. If the audio video is clear, just write clear in a chat box so that I'll be able to know that आप मुझे सुन सक रहे हैं. अरे बोल दो, कोई तो बोल दो. Right. YouTube वाली जनता बता दीजिए प्लीज बता दीजिए. साइली बोल रही है सर आवाज आ रही है थोड़ी थोड़ी. चलो ग्रेट, हैप्पी टू हियर दिस आउट. गुड इवनिंग, गुड इवनिंग. एवरीथिंग इज क्लियर, वेरी एक्साइटेड बट कुड नॉट टर्न ऑन द कैमरा बिकॉज ऑफ ऑफिस आर. ओके ओके, नथिंग टू वरी. चलो ग्रेट. बट जो जो कनेक्टेड है यार, अगर आप वीडियोस ऑन रखेंगे तो आपका सेशन बहुत ज्यादा हम इंटरेक्टिव रखेंगे. Right, and today's session is very interesting because today we are going to be covering two important aspects. Number one, Big Four hota kya hai? Number two, what all areas are available, what all domains are available in Big Four. And number three, we are going to be having some mock interviews and also be going to be discussing some important questions, right? बहुत ज़्यादा session को हम लोग we are going to be keeping it perspective from the perspective of Big Fours only, right? So I don't know how many of you have a dream to go into the Big Fours and stuff, right? So let's ask our audience, bata do, right? How many of you want to get into the Big Four? And if you want to get into Big Four, which Big Four? You can just mention in a chat box, right? Good to see that more than I think I can see 150 odd people have joined, right? A lot of people are from YouTube as well. A lot of people are connected from Zoom itself. राइट. ओके ओके. एनी बिग फोर सर जॉब दिलवा दो, वो ज्यादा जरूरी है. ठीक है, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. जॉब तो हम दिलवा ही देंगे आपको यार. जॉब दिलवा ही देंगे, उसका आप टेंशन ना लो. बस लिख दो कौन सा बिग फोर. Those who have connected from a YouTube Zoom, right? Request you to please turn on the videos so that we can interact, have a good interactive session, right? आपकी शक्ल देखेंगे तो हमें भी अच्छा लगेगा यार. ऐसे ऐसे ना करो यार. Right. EY KPMG Deloitte. Oh ho. EY KPMG Deloitte. PwC in the house. PwC नहीं आ रहा यार. I don't know why. Okay. PwC Dubai. Oh ho. I am not looking a job. I am looking a job outside India. Okay, got it. Sir, why you are not talking about GTA and BDO? Yes, this firms are considered as big six firms and a GTA and BDO. Deloitte or EY. I don't know why there is a biasness between the audience, right? Or few people are like, sir, volume नहीं आ रही है. I think you're supposed to connect your Wi-Fi, then you'll be able to hear me out. BCG में करवा दो. वाह, अरे मैं बिग फोर की बात कर रहा हूँ, आप BCG की बात कर रहे हैं यार. ठीक है, तो ग्रेट. आई थिंक पहले आर्टिकलशिप, राइट? अगेन विल ऑल्सो कवर some aspects related to articleship as well. So before we start in, I hope everyone is carrying their pen, paper and diary, hopefully, right? Because that is something which you're going to be needing in this session. Because अगर आप खाली हाथ आए हो तो यार कुछ तो चाहिए ना. You need something to write during the session out, because I'll tell you some important things, right? So great. Few people are very excited. Now, before I go into this, also wanted to know that which domain you're targeting into the Big Four. Any idea about the domains? Do you have any ideas की stat audit, internal audit? अगर है तो लिख दो. If just wanted to know, then I'll cover everything in detail, right? कि क्या होता है, कैसे होता है. ठीक है, nothing to worry. You're here to learn, and I'm here to teach. Okay. Indirect taxation, FDD, GST. Oh ho. Chalo, great. I gave stat audit, corporate tax valuation. Okay. Got it. Perfect. Got it. We have crossed the good number. Okay. So what I'll do is that I'll share my screen and I will discuss everything in detail. I request everyone to please pay attention. Then we'll move on our discussion based on a Big Four की कौन सी availability कहाँ पे है, vacancies कब आती है, placements कब होता है, interviews कैसे लिया जाता है. Every damn thing is gonna be covered in this 1 hour session. What is important is you just need to be attentive. That's it. ठीक है, राइट? और जो कनेक्टेड है आप अपने दोस्तों के साथ भी लिंक शेयर कर सकते हो, कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. सबसे पहले there are 4 big companies which I think everyone is aware of, right? First is EY, second is KPMG, third is Deloitte, and fourth is PwC. right? No offense with the fines and all the byju's cases, please. We'll not discuss this here. I don't know how many of you are aware of this, but yes. Now, every big four have now started dividing into two parts. Please do understand this. One is the Indian big four, and second we call as a global. ठीक है, एक हम बोलते हैं इंडियन बिग फोर और दूसरा बोलते हैं ग्लोबल बिग फोर्स. देयर इज अ डिफरेंस बिटवीन बोथ ऑफ दिस, राइट? जैसे कि ईवाई का ग्लोबल बिग फोर इज नोन बाय द ईवाई जीडीएस. ठीक है, केपीएमजी का नोन एज केपीएमजी का इज केजीएस. ठीक है, डेलोइट का यूएसआई एंड पीडब्ल्यूसी का एसडीसी. ठीक है, अगेन पीडब्ल्यूसी हैव टू, पीडब्ल्यूसी एसडीसी कोलकाता ऑफिस, PwC, SDC, Bangalore office. ठीक है, so there are multiple divisions which we need to understand. Now, what are the areas or the domains which every big four is working for? This is the most important part and the best part of the session, and this is what I divided into the services of the big fours. ठीक है, one is the consulting services, second is the assurance services, third is the risk advisory services, fourth is the financial advisory services, and fifth part is the taxation services. Every services has a respective departments available with them. Hello, right? Every services has a respective departments available with the each big four. Now they might call them with a different names. Names can be varied because हर एक big four चाहता है कि I'll create my own reputation. यार, please do understand, right? I'll give some special name to my division or branches out, but every big four is gonna be working with this major categories which I am gonna be telling you out. Okay, we'll start with the most favorite and highest where people are gonna be joining, and that is assurance, right? So assurance mainly it covers your stat audit. Okay, stat audit is mostly gonna be covered here, assurance part. Okay, assurance, accounting and reporting, which is again you are going to be called as a CFO advisory nowadays. Very fancy name, CFO advisory in a big four. Okay, or FAS teams, right? So again, lot of fancy names are given to this, but please do understand that accounting and reporting advisory, where you're going to be part of a IndAS implementation team and also going to be a part of IndAS implementation and making the financials on an IndAS part. So this is again one of the part. Accounting and operation services, again the backend work where you're going to be part of the accounting team, and media and audit advertising assurance. Again, yahan pe hiring is very less, so again we'll not discuss this out, but these are the three areas where hiring is much higher. So assurance mein, those who are targeting, I want to get into the statutory audit or I want to get into some big fours, you can target for a statutory audit domain, right? Sir, now what is stat audit? Don't worry, we'll have a session tomorrow in detail what stat audit. Okay, we'll have a detailed session, but let's understand what are the services big fours are going to be offering you. First is the statutory audit, second is the accounting and reporting, which I mentioned, the IFRS part which you're going to be working, and third is the accounting services. Next is the risk advisory, which is also called as a consulting in some of the big fours. What they do is that jo internal audit, some people call as internal audit, some people call as risk advisory, some people call as a consulting. Okay, every company has a special names, right? I don't know why they have created this a lot of confusion, but yes, this is how the world is working. You should be aware of this. Okay, now in this there are multiple risks, and division of the teams are going to be based on the type of risk as well. Okay, and there is again one more division here itself, which is again called as the technology risk. I think I've just missed this out. Technology risk, we are going to be part of ITGC team. You're going to be part of the IT implementation team or ITGC team out, right? So what is the role there in ITGC team or IT team? You're going to be checking the SAP implementation, or you're going to be ensuring that the controls which are based on the systems are working correctly or not. I'll give you a very small example. Say, for example, the payroll is made or the payment to an employee is made by system automatically, right? The payment to the employee is made automatically by the system, right? Now, being an auditor, you need to check that whether the system is working correctly or not, whether the system is calculating the payroll amount correctly or not, right? So that is generally a part of the technology risk. And again, so you will be again a part of ITGC team, which is there. Next, few people want to get into the financial advisory. Okay, so financial advisory, again, you can see the divisions which are there. right? Forensics, corporate advisory, restructuring, project valuation, M&A. Some people M&A lovers, right? SFM lovers, by the way, right? So that is there, and transaction services, which is there. Next is the consulting. Many people forget this out. Consulting नाम का भी एक division होता है, right? There's also one more division, but इसमें hiring is very very restricted, and for this you need to prepare a lot in terms of interview. Okay, so this is there. Consulting part is there. Now to brief this out again, consulting can be again management consulting, risk consulting, or technology consulting. Okay, so this is again, consulting has been divided into three fronts. So that is there. And taxation part, definitely one more lot of hiring nowadays is also done for the global taxation. Please do listen this out, that the people, those who are taxation lovers or those who want to work in the taxation domain, how many of you want to work in the taxation domain, by the way? Just wanted to know. Just write yes in a chat box, please. If you want to work in a taxation, just write yes in a chat box. Are likho na, right? People from YouTube, yeah, please write yes in a yes for the taxation. If you want to work in a taxation, either it's GT, IDT, please, it's completely fine. Just write yes in a chat box if you want to work in a taxation domain, right? So please do understand, nowadays one of the major hiring is also done for the global taxation businesses. Okay, so this is one of the area of scope. Jaise ki we have divided this into two parts for Indian and global services also. In one of the big fours nowadays, what they have also started doing is that within the Indian practice of taxation firm, they have split down into two: global taxation, Indian taxation. So generally, you're going to be working on the clients which are going to be global based, for where you're going to be filing their returns, ensuring that the proper compliances are done, and all those things out. Okay. So that is there. The taxation, global taxation, your indirect tax, transfer pricing, right? M&A tax is again very good field if you again want to get into this M&A tax and taxation part. Okay, so this is the structure for where you can build a scope for this. Generally, people are not aware about this field, M&A taxation, and generally people are not aware about this part and this part. Okay, rest I think people are aware of. Again, taxation is again divided into the multiple parts, which again will have a detailed session on the taxation part. So I hope this is clear for the services front to most of you, right? This is clear to most of you in terms of services, right? I hope you got a bit idea regarding this, right? Now I'll move to the next and very interesting part, which is the difference between, sir, Indian firm and global firms out. Right? What is the major difference? Sir, should we join a global firm? Should we not join a global firm? Sir, what is the interview process? Don't worry, we'll come to the same. But yes, let's understand first major difference between a global firms and an Indian firms out. Sir, how do you know all this? Because I have been working in Big Four for almost 3.5 years of my life. Right? So I completed my articleship from ENY Pune office, right? So I know in and outs of Big Fours, right? How the Big Fours work, what is the structure. So I was a part of an assurance team. So that is there. Now coming to the global firms versus Indian firms, right? So global firms, why generally global firms have nowadays gaining much more importance is that, say for example, the country like Philippines, Malaysia. Let's take the country like Malaysia, right? Please do not get into the dream of going to Malaysia as of now. I'm just taking the country as Malaysia. Now the Malaysia has one of the company name as XYZ. Okay, so XYZ has an auditor called as a PwC, right? XYZ has an auditor called as a PwC. Now, if you have heard this word, right? Many people say, let's earn in a dollars and spend in a rupees. How many of you have heard this? Suna to hoga kabhi. It's very good to earn in dollars and spend in rupees if you want to become crorepati or something sort of, right? So that is what companies also follow. Let's earn in dollars. So fees we are going to be charging in the dollars terms, and we are going to be spending in rupees. Okay, so what they do, right? They'll need an auditor. They'll need a person to audit and everything out. Okay, so every global clients, every global companies where the clients are located, they're going to be hiring some of the Indian folks to audit some of the global work. So say, for example, Mehul has been appointed as an auditor for Indian PwC, which is SGC firm, where he's going to be auditing the XYZ Limited, right? So this is going to be the work. Now, what is the major difference? Number one major difference is you're not going to be visiting the client. Oh my God. You're going to be on Zoom call. Hello, is my internet working? Hello, is my internet working? Right? So this is one of the downside. Number two, you will be in touch of the global partners. That is a good part. You are going to be in touch with the global clients. You will be in touch with the global partners out. This is a good part. But one of the downside is you are not going to be visiting the clients. ठीक है, आपको client place visit करने नहीं मिलेगा, ठीक है, very easily. And generally you are going to be allowed to visit a client place once you are at a managerial level, मतलब after 2 to 3 years of your completion of this. Okay, that is one thing. Second thing, the downside of a global firm is that the work experience is mostly, since you're going to be working on some of the global clients, the work experience part for this, or the learning part of this, is again bit different as compared to the Indian clients. Why? Because in Indian clients, you are going to be visiting the clients every day. In Indian clients, you will be handling their taxation system also. In Indian clients also, you're going to be having again a lot of challenges, and again the procedures, like say for example bank confirmations, right? You're going to be doing it locally, but many a times, say for example if you're working on a global clients, you're not going to be performing on the taxation front because you don't know the taxation structure of Malaysia. Hello, right? So they'll not allow you. So generally these things are restricted with the local auditors or the local people of Malaysia of PwC. So that is one thing. Second thing, sir, will I get a chance to visit Malaysia again after 2 to 3 years? Say for example, if your growth is done, if you're working well, definitely the company can send you. And also the people, those who want a bit work-life balance, this is a good in terms of bit work-life balance. Again, Indian Big Fours, you are going to be working to some larger extent. That is definitely there. Right? But I'm not saying कि कोई बुरा है, कोई अच्छा है. Both are good. Both have their pros and cons. Right? Number 3. In global Big Fours or global firms out, generally nowadays what have been seen that they are hiring a bigger package or larger package as compared to the Indian firms. Or say for example, if it is offering 8.25 or 8.5, so it will offer somewhere around 9 or 9.25. Okay, so that is there because again, global practices, earn in dollars, spend in rupees. So I hope you get the concept out. Now, the people, those who again targeting, let's go for the CPA, CFA, CPA or ACCA, definitely you can think of some of the global firms out because they do have some of the policies for them. So that is there. Next, coming to the Indian firms, right? Many people feel that, sir, in Big Four, the attrition rate is very high. How many of you have heard this? How many of you have heard this? In Big Four, the attrition rate is very high. Just write yes in a chat box. Just write yes in a chat box. Please write yes in the chat box, please. If you have heard the attrition rate in the Indian Big Fours or the Big Fours is very high. How many of you have heard this? Those who don't know what attrition means, the attrition means कि लोग जल्दी जल्दी छोड़ के चले जाते हैं यहाँ से. ठीक है? क्यों होता है? Right, I'll tell you very good reason. See, attrition rate is high only and only when you have a higher opportunities available with you. अगर opportunity ही नहीं होगा तो attrition कैसे होगा? People are not getting this. See, if you're getting a good options to switch, that is why you're switching it out, right? But अगर आपके पास option ही नहीं है तो switch कहाँ करोगे? So that also showcases that Big Four is going to be helping you to make your portfolio very, very strong, right? So that is there. Few companies, I'll not name the companies out, but no offense with the companies. I'm not running those companies, right? I'm not the owner of HUL or other big companies out, right? Few companies, many a time says that I'll prefer a candidate who has worked in some Big Four or has some experience in Big Four. Why? Because Big Four is going to be teaching you one important skill, and that is to handle the pressure. Okay. Big Four is also going to be teaching you very important skills, is that how to work in a team, how to ensure that you're very good at Excel, how to present the things out. So these are the major things which you're going to be learning, right? And one more important skills is the communication, right? So this all skills the Big Four is going to be teaching. So that's why few company filter out based on this, but no offense with this. है ना, मेरी कोई कंपनीज नहीं है, कंपनीज की भी कोई गलती नहीं है, right? This is what they have a parameter about. ठीक है, तो आई होप दिस इज द बेसिक पार्ट व्हिच इज क्लियर टू एवरीवन ऑफ यू, राइट? अभी तक के आपको समझ में आ रहा है चीजें, right? If you're able to understand, just write clear in a chat box, right? Or if you have any doubts, you can post your doubts in the chat box, right? Can I learn this MNC too? So again, I'll come to this later. MNC mein hai, right? Those who have just getting, see, you'll get an entire picture, right? Since I've been working into this industry for almost 2.5 years, right? You name the company, I've placed the people out there because मुझे सब कंपनीज का इन एंड आउट पता है, सब कंपनीज के एचआर भी पता है कि कौन कहाँ के हैं, राइट? तो आई नो कि हाउ द थिंग्स आर वर्किंग इन दिस इंडस्ट्री एंड डोमेन आउट, right? Sir, is stat audit fit for the freshers and stuff? So again, we'll have a session tomorrow for stat audit in detail. So where mentor is going to be coming and he's going to be discussing the same. Okay, take some session on Excel as well, pakka, right? Upcoming week, I'll plan some session on financial modeling and Excel as well. Okay, so don't worry. Right, I hope it is clear to the audience which are there connected from the YouTube. यार आप लिख दो ना और वीडियो को लाइक भी कर दो यार प्लीज, है ना? अच्छा लगेगा हमें भी, आपके लिए इतना मेहनत कर रहे दिन रात, राइट? वी आर गिविंग यू द एक्सक्लूसिव गुड कंटेंट आउट, राइट? सो प्लीज, जूम वाले बोल रहे सर हम यूट्यूब पे जाके लाइक करके आएंगे, थैंक्स यार. Okay, let's next moving to the procedure for the interview. ठीक है, next we'll move to the process. Interview process क्या है पहले वो समझ लेते हैं, right? So generally this is a 3-step process. Generally it's a 3-step process. Okay, number 1, manager round. Number 2 is the senior manager round or a partner round or a director round. So sorry, I used the different one. Number 2 is the partner round or director round or VP round. First round is generally going to be a manager round. Okay. Now, what sort of questions these people are going to be asking? The fixed questions, right? Fixed question, which is your resume based, your experience based, your analytical skills, few testing of Indies, few testing on standards on auditing, and some questions of essays as well. Right? Favorite question, favorite Indies 115, 116. I cannot overemphasize on this. राइट, फेवरेट हर एक आदमी का फेवरेट इंडेक्स है ये, पता नहीं क्या हो गया है लोगों को, बट फेवरेट इंडेक्स 115 116. ट्रस्ट मी, यू आर गोना बी लाइक कि सर मैंने पढ़ाई नहीं करके गया था सीए फाइनल में, आई डोंट केयर. यू आर सपोज टू स्टडी फॉर दिस इंटरव्यू इफ यू वांट टू क्लियर द इंटरव्यू, बिकॉज हर एक कंपनी 115 116 पूछती है. ठीक है, तो ट्रस्ट मी, दे आर गोना बी आस्किंग यू द सेम. नेक्स्ट, some basic questions which are there. Again, HR based question is very simple. Why this company? Why PwC? Why this? Mainly experience based, and they are going to be in touch with you folks regarding the same. ठीक है, तो यहाँ तक के I just told you the procedure out. Now, best part to brief you and teach you about the procedure is, let's perform some live mock interviews. Right? Let's perform some live mock interviews where I'll trouble few of you, especially those who have turn off their videos out, and the people from a Zoom, people from YouTube, definitely you can see how the people is performing, right? How they are speaking, where they are speaking right, where they are speaking wrong, right? And after that is done, well, I'll give them a one-on-one feedback in terms of कि ये आपने सही बोला, ये आपने गलत बोला. It's completely fine even if you give a wrong answer, but it's important to learn, because now is the time where you're going to be learning the things. ठीक है, अभी गलती करोगे कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, इंटरव्यू में गलती करोगे बहुत दिक्कत है. ठीक है, बिकॉज वहां पे अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट इज 9.5 लाख रुपीज और 10 लाख रुपीज, राइट? यहाँ पे अपॉर्चुनिटी कॉस्ट इज 0. हेलो, आई होप यू अंडरस्टैंड दिस. ठीक है, तो दिस इज अगेन वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट. सर, फॉर इंटर्न्स एज वेल, व्हाट ऑल क्वेश्चंस आर आस्क्ड? सो द पीपल दोज हु आर अप्लाइंग फॉर द आर्टिकलशिप, राइट? वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट. Articleship mean nowadays lot of big fours have started their level 1 test, which is like you're gonna be tested based on some aptitude, some logical reasoning based questions. Number 1. Okay. Number 2, after you clear this out, you're gonna be judged on some basic parameters. Okay. One of the most important parameter is communication. Okay. One of the very very important parameter is the communication, right? Next question people are asking that, sir, can I switch from global Big Four to Indian Big Four? The answer is yes, you can switch from global Big Four to the Indian Big Four, right? And in terms of experience count, yes, it's again dependent on the company to company, how you're going to be giving the interview and how you're going to be presenting yourself. Okay, so that is there. Now, one thing in a global Big Four is that they always go for the Version test. What does Version test means? They are going to be testing your communication skills. Okay, so few of you have already done, right? I have given Version test to few of my students as well. So that is something which is very 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 important. Okay, so Version test is very very important if you're going to be going for the global Big Fours, right? Now, we'll practice one of the mock interviews. Others, what I want you to do is, number 1, just note down the questions if you want to do. Number 2, just think what the answers you will be given if you are sitting on the same position. Okay. Number 3, right? Himanshi, I'll just request you to please rewind it. What is Version test? So Version test is mostly regarding the this version test is mostly regarding your communication part on English. Sir, I have my interview tomorrow for article training again. So I'll cover the major things regarding the stat audit today, because I'll take the two mock interviews today. One is regarding the stat audit. Another will move to some finance side or something related to the internal audit, whichever you would say, and so that we can cover more of the stuff, right? So, is there any app for the version test? Yes, you can find a lot of apps available, right? Or you can again search on the YouTube as well. So, we'll start with the mock interview, right? Are you all excited for the mock interview? If you're excited, just write excited in the chat box and make some noise, right? If you're excited for some mock interviews, you can just write excited in the chat box, please. Okay, got it. Okay, the people from YouTube, yeah, you can just definitely see, right, how the mock interview is going, and that is going to be helping you out as well. And then please note down the questions. Meanwhile, I'll go for the mock interview. Okay, so we'll randomly pick one of you. Okay, oh my God, we'll randomly pick one of you for the mock interview, and after that is done, we'll give you a feedback. Okay, so I'll pick Radhika. बोल रही मुझे ले लो. ठीक है, Radhika, I'll pick you. Radhika, can you please unmute yourself? Yes. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yes. Are you ready for mock interview for statutory audit?
I think yes.
I think yes. Okay. You don't have an option, but just a second. I don't know. Someone has start presenting the whiteboard. Okay. Perfectly fine. It would be great if you could send me your resume also on a chat on my email ID. I'll just ping you my email ID. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'll do that. Yes.
Yes. So before we start the mock interview, ground rules for others folks, right? Number one, please note down the questions. Number two, I am going to be grilling her to some extent, but that doesn't mean that every Big Four is going to be grilling on the same level. You just need to understand how the interview process is going to be good there. Okay. Third thing, very interesting part, she is applying for the statutory audit in a Big Four. So if you're carrying a pen and paper, you can just take a fresh page, statutory audit, right? And you can just write down the series of questions as and when I start asking her. ठीक है, तो statutory audit में mainly the role will be क्या करता है candidate. I'll just also brief you out meanwhile she's sending me the resume. In statutory audit, you are gonna be auditing what? Auditing the financial statements of the company. What does financial statement include? Financial statement includes your P&L, your balance sheet, your cash flow, your notes to accounts. ये कौन प्रिपेयर करता है? कंपनी प्रिपेयर करती है. रिव्यू कौन करता है? ऑडिटर रिव्यू करता है, राइट? और उस रिव्यू के बेसिस पे ऑडिटर देगा अपना एक ओपिनियन, राइट? आई होप यू हैव हर्ड द टाइप्स ऑफ ओपिनियन ऑन ऑल दिस थिंग्स आउट, राइट? सो अगेन दिस इज व्हाट द रोल ऑफ अ स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिटर. ठीक है. यस राधिका, आई होप यू हैव शेयर्ड द रिज्यूम ऑन द ईमेल.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's it.
Yes, great. Okay, I got your email. So meanwhile, what I'll also try to do for the folks, those who have connected here, is that I'll also try to give you a resume feedback after the session or after the interview is done. ठीक है. तो बाकी लोग प्लीज आप देखते रहो, आपको मजा भी आएगा, कुछ चीजें सीखने भी मिलेगी, and you're going to be learning lot of new things today. ठीक है राधिका, all the best for your interview.
Thank you, sir.
Chalo, let's start. And we are going to be starting in the formalized environment as if we are going to be doing as if you are applying for a job, right? Assume that I am the assumption, ठीक है, I am the manager of ENY office, है ना? ENY का मैं मैनेजर हूँ, शिवम पलन मेरा नाम है, and you came for a interview today. आप इंटरव्यू के लिए आए हो, and I'll be putting you the questions the way it's gonna be there. ठीक है, जैसे इंटरव्यू होता है वैसे ही हम करने वाले हैं. ठीक है, बाकी लोग प्लीज नोट डाउन करते जाओ पॉइंट्स, right? बाकी लोग please keep the eye on the things out, and after that is done, we'll go for the feedback. ठीक है? So great. Hi Radhika, how are you?
I'm good, sir. Very well. How are you?
All good, all good. So Radhika, can you please introduce yourself?
Yes. My name is Radhika Goenka, and I'm born and brought up in Kanpur, UP. I did my schooling from St. Mary's Convent High School in Kanpur itself. Thereafter, in the graduation front, I did BCom in finance and MCom in marketing. On the professional front, I did chartered accountancy, and I have given my Group 2 exams in May 2022. I did my articleship from J. Bajpai and Company, which is a renowned firm in Kanpur and is known for statutory audits, internal audits, tax audits, and stock audits. during my articleship, I had the opportunity to lead audits of various companies that were in different industries. For example, construction industry, manufacturing industry, and or retail trading.
Okay, perfect. So can you tell me what were the major clients which you have worked on? Some major
Yes, sir.
clients, yeah.
I I majorly worked on a company which was involved in trading, wholesale trading and retail trading of saris and suiting and shooting.
Okay, got it. So you have worked and audited the company which was in manufacturing of sari. That is what you meant, right?
Not
It's a
manufacturing, sir. It
trading
was
part.
wholesale. Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So do you have any idea how big is the sari market in India, by the way?
Yes, sir. The sari market is on a diminishing front, but it is still very huge. And there are various, specifically some types which are very prominent. For example, the cotton and silk. It has a bigger market than other segments.
Okay. Can you tell the market size in terms of numbers?
So, if I am supposed to tell in numbers, I would require some data about the population of India in India who are basically Hindus, and the female population which are Hindus, because they mostly are the ones who wear saris, and I would also require the age group bifurcation of the population.
Okay, got it. Not an issue. Okay, we'll continue with the further questions out. Since you've
Yes,
mentioned
sir.
that you have the worked on the statutory audit, just wanted to check, have you worked on India's clients?
No, sir. I did not get an opportunity to work on India's clients, although I am open to, although I have learned about that in my CA final, and I'm open to work on them now.
Okay, okay. So do you have any idea regarding component accounting of India's 16?
No, sorry.
Okay,
I
got it.
won't be able to call that.
Okay, not an issue. Yes. Any favorite Indias which you remember?
So for now, I would not be able to answer that question, sir.
Okay. Any specific reason? Because I think that's a part of FR and CA final.
Yes, I actually have to revise my concepts, and I haven't revised my concepts in FR
Okay, but we are looking for a
lately.
candidate who can work in the Indies front as well. So, as in, it will be
Yes, sir.
very difficult for me. Yeah.
So I would definitely be strong in the concepts once before I join the company.
Okay, got it. Any idea on valuation of inventories?
Yes, sir. The valuation is done depending upon the product that the company is into, and there are various methods that a company might opt for valuing its inventory. The most commonly followed methods are last in, first in, first out, and weighted average method.
Okay, got it. So, when do you use weighted average method, by the way?
Weighted average method is used when the stock that a company holds has a long shelf life and it does not deteriorate. It is like constant. It does not matter if the company is taking out the item which was brought in first or brought in last. So when a company cannot keep a count of that, it uses weighted average.
Okay, got it. Since you have mentioned you have worked on some clients where you have worked on the revenue side as well, right? That is what you meant.
Yes, sir.
Just wanted to know, how do you check that there are revenue leakages in any clients?
Okay. To check the revenue leakages, there could be revenue leakages mainly in the sales front.
Okay, so before you go to this question, what do you mean by revenue leakages? What do you understand by this term?
Revenue leakage could be that revenue that we could have earned, but due to some reason we are we are making, there are some problems in our control system due to which we are losing on that revenue.
Okay, got it. So yes, what are the measures to ensure that revenue leakages are not there?
The first thing, I think, to ensure that there are no revenue leakages, we need to keep a track of the customer demands and that there is enough inventory that we are holding so that we can supply to the customers. There are no stockouts, because once there are stockouts, our customers might move to other people and we might lose our customers and market share. Apart from that, the other problem for revenue leakage could be that if we are not providing good after sales services, because then there might be a situation where the customer might not want to return to us.
Okay, but I think that is not the part of revenue leakage. Is it a part of revenue leakage? After sales
Uh,
service?
no, it is not a part of revenue leakage, but in the long run, it might account to revenue leakage.
Okay, got it. Have you identified any red flag in your clients, or have you identified any red flag when once you were auditing or working on your clients?
Yes, I did do that. Like, I got an opportunity to actually identify a fraud which was happening in the client. So we had this client who had a branch in a distant location, and his cashier, like the owners of the company, could not visit there regularly, and they had the system of maintaining a cash report and then inputting the data in the books of accounts, which were put in the system in the head office after the cash report was received from the branch. So there were variations in the cash report and the cash account. So whenever the audit was done previously, like until I did it, the everything matched, because the sales bill and the cash account, they used to tally, and so there was no concerns raised until then. But then when I actually called in for the cash report through which the entries were done, then we found that there were major differences which were of small amount, but calculated over the period of time, it resulted in a huge amount.
Okay, got it. So since you're mentioning about the fraud, right? So under which clause of a CARO you'll report a fraud? Any idea?
Uh, Sorry, sir, I would not be able to answer that.
Okay. Any idea about reporting on frauds, or under which section of audit it comes?
Yes, fraud is reported. Sorry, sir.
Okay, not an issue. Right, we'll move to the next question, which is regarding the determination of materiality. Have you worked on the clients where you have determined the materiality?
Yes, sir. Like I said, I have worked on the retail sector, so there was a great need of determining the materiality while, especially while vouching the bills, the sales and purchases bills, and even the expenses bills, because it was not practical to vouch each and everything. Secondly,
No,
materiality,
so how
we
do you determine the materiality? I know the process, but I just wanted to know
yes.
the how did you determine the materiality of that client?
Okay. So, sir, we are like we went forward with the amount thing. Like, since there were various branches in the company, we used to select each branch, and then of this, like each branch had different price ranges. So the least price range, we used to select like less samples from that range, and then as the price went higher, we used to select more, like more samples. We collected more samples from that range. The second thing that we followed was that sales that were made to the close relatives of the company's owners or management, we used to audit them entirely.
No, I think you didn't get my question, right? Say, for example, a company is having a revenue of 100 crore, right? I
Okay.
just want to derive the materiality amount. How you'll derive that? That is what I meant.
Okay. I guess you want to ask like 5% of the amount is
No, so again, how do you determine, right? You on what all levels you'll calculate the materiality, how you'll calculate the materiality. That is what I wanted to know.
okay. So like it would be that what percentage of the risk that we are able to accept, and it could be like this amount, this percentage. It could be on profit, or it could be on revenue, and
No,
it
so
can be
just
like
tell what you have done in that client, right?
okay. In that client, we used to take 5% of the net profit of the last quarter, And if that amount we used to consider as insignificant, like if the variations amount to that, like variations of that amount, it is acceptable, but beyond that amount, we would.
Okay. So what was the net profit of the previous year, financial year of that client?
So it used to be around 20 lakhs.
Okay, 20 lakhs. So 5% of 20 lakhs would be somewhere around 1 lakh, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if the any amount which is below 1 lakh is immaterial, which you are not going to be auditing.
No, sir. Sir, it would be collective. Like if collectively they amount to 1 lakh.
Okay, so any amount which is collectively exceeding 1 lakh, we are not going to be auditing that, right? So collectively
Sir,
on the account level or a transaction level or the sub account level?
Sir, as I was mentioning earlier, we used to there used to be different portions. For example, for expenses, since there used to be different heads of expenses, so some expenses we did not audit. For example, in general expenses, there used to be small expenses of tea or everyday expenses that we used to skip, or expenses for which vouchers weren't available. In sales, we used to go on different branch wise and price wise according to the branch, which was like the average price in that branch. And then on like for the other expenses, we used to actually calculate about price. Like if the price is 5% of the net revenue, then we used to see that yes. And even the debtors and creditors, if they are big creditors, then we used to actually go in for external confirmation. Otherwise, we used to just see the account and do.
Got it. Got it. So say, for example, you go for external confirmation and the client is not giving you the confirmation. What you'll do?
Okay. So
you have
this
sent a confirmation to
happened,
debtors, right? You have sent a confirmation
yeah,
to debtors as an auditor, right? And the
yes.
debtor is not giving you the confirmation reply. What you'll do as an auditor?
As an auditor, we used to first we used to scrutiny the debtor account, and if we had a chance, we used to ask the management to have request the creditor and debtor and ask him what the problem was, like why is he not ready to give the confirmation. If there are some differences between our client and the debtor, then I would have requested the management to solve it. And if still the debtor is adamant on not giving the confirmation out of his own whim, then I guess we would have just scrutinized the debtor account and saw if it was it looked reasonable.
Okay, but management will say their accounting team is busy, their auditors are busy, they are busy with that, right? That is what the management is going to be replying you.
Then we would have taken an external confirmation if we would have found no way out.
So, but he's not giving the confirmation, no? That is what I mean.
No, from the management. Then we would have taken a management representation letter for that.
Achha, got it. Okay, got it. So that is what you meant. What is the entry for provision for bad debts?
Okay. Since provision is a credit account, so profit and loss debit to provision for bad debts.
Okay, so do you adjust the same with the debtors when you're representing or making the books of accounts?
We do not adjust it with the debtors, but we represent it like we subtract it from the debtors amount to show the net figure.
Okay, right. What is the entry for depreciation?
Depreciation account debit to fixed asset.
What is the entry for provision for depreciations?
Profit and loss account to provision for depreciation.
What is the accounting for contingent liability?
A contingent liability is not accounted for in the books of accounts. It is entered as notes to the accounts.
Okay, notes to account. Now, say for example, the company has purchased an asset, right? How you'll decide that asset to be capitalized or not to be capitalized?
Okay. If that asset has a long-term usage, then it will be capitalized. Otherwise, if that asset is purchased, yes, if it has a long-term benefit to the company, then it will be capitalized. Otherwise, not.
Okay, got it. Since you have mentioned in your resume that you have represented a school in Reserve Bank of India quiz, what was that quiz all about?
So it is an annual quiz that is held in in every country, and it is organized by the RBI. and there they ask questions questions relating to every field from science, fiction, and even finance.
Okay, great. So you're good at quiz. That is what you're saying.
So I have taken part in quizzes at school level.
Okay. So any idea on the current repo rate?
So it has been reduced recently. I guess it is 4.5 right now, but I'm not sure.
Okay. So any idea why government has reduced this rate?
It is due to inflation.
So how does reducing the rate is going to be helping to conquer the inflation?
Because if the repo rate, now that the repo rate is reduced,
what is repo rate, by
banks,
the way? What is repo rate?
Repo rate is the rate at which the banks can borrow money from RBI.
Okay, right. So assuming that earlier rate was 5%. Now you're saying let's take 0.5% has been reduced, so it's now 4.5, yes. Right? So how this is going to be helping to control the inflation?
So when repo rate decreases, the banks can borrow more money, and hence the bank interest rate to borrow funds decreases. So more money is available in the economy. When more money is available in the economy, the general price level of the goods falls.
When more money is available, the people will spend more. When people will spend more, there will be more inflation.
Right? So I guess I would not be able to answer that question.
Okay. Not an issue. What are your strengths and weaknesses?
Okay. My weakness is that I am very determined to a work. When I start a work, I want to do it very precisely and to the point. But if I'm given a deadline, my strength is that I actually complete it in a deadline. Another strength of mine, which I would be proud of, is I'm very punctual towards everything and very sincere in whatever I do.
Okay. Got it. So great. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir.
Okay. Thank you. All right. Our HR will get back to you for the updates of result. Thanks for coming for interview.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Right. So great. Round of applause for Radhika. So sorry यार मैं बहुत ज़्यादा ग्रिल कर दिया आपको मन में बोल रही थी छोड़ दो
So I was very bad at the technical round. Like I had no idea of the technical questions that you asked.
Right. But still I like the way you were speaking out, because after giving 2-3 wrong answers, people start fumbling out, right? So you didn't fumble out. So that is something which I really want to appreciate. Although technical parts can definitely any day can be worked on, any day. But yes, you need to decide the date when you're going to be start working on the same, right? So that is there, right? So again, very good things which I have noticed in this interview session. Okay, so I think people can give a round of applause by giving a virtual claps. यार Zoom से जो connected है virtual claps दे सकते हैं एक बार फिर से, और YouTube से जो connected है you can definitely give a virtual claps, right? Sir, you were so harsh, so sorry yaar. Right, because again it's completely fine, right? Let's prepare for extreme, and that is what my goal is, है ना? हम एकदम extreme के लिए prepare करते हैं. देखो simple interviews everyone can teach you out, right? Introduce yourself, ये basic है, right? ये सब का हम preparation तो करेंगे ही, but we are preparing for the worst to worst interviews and best to best preparation. Okay, to prepare for the worst so that you can beat any of the interviews. That is what my intention is. Okay, so this is what my motive is, and this is why I have just planned this session for all of you. Okay, and since we are starting our one more batch for all of you guys, to be interested here, the next batch is starting from 27th, right? 27th se start, or in fact, a lot of our GR students have also joined in. Right, so next batch is starting from 27th, where we cover all these aspects, right? From resume review, mock interviews, group discussion, PI, right? Your technical preparations, your business related case studies, your domain wise preparations, right? From equity research, investment banking, stat audit, FDD, DT, IDT, right? All domains we are going to be covering here. Plus also your technical preparations, where you are going to be assigned a mentors for 2 odd days, जिनके साथ आप बैठ के prepare करोगे for each and every domain out. We also help you for the off-campus placements, which is right from application from LinkedIn, Twitter, and multiple platforms. That is definitely covered. Plus also domain-specific preparation, which is there. And at the end, you are going to be giving a final assessment test with our mentors out, where you're going to be getting a one-on-one feedback for the same. राइट। तो जो भी इंटरेस्टेड है, देखो प्री रिजल्ट के बैच का इज वन ऑफ द बेस्ट पैरामीटर इज दैट since you're joining a pre-result batch, one of the good thing about the pre-result batch is that you can spend and invest your time in the right direction. Post result क्या होता है, everyone is gonna be running the race, right? Everyone is like कि भाई मुझे रेस कंप्लीट करना है और उसके बाद I just want a job. यहाँ पे you can work on your technical skills, you can work on presentation skills, and even if you can targeting for different domains like consulting or FP&A or somewhere related to investment banking, this is the time where you can invest on all this. Sir, what if my results come negative? Do not worry, you can join upcoming batch in December itself. So we have been doing this for almost 2.5 odd years. This is our 23rd batch. 22nd batch has been already completed. On a verge of completion. So 23rd batch is going to be starting from 27. ठीक है, तो 14 days का rigorous training और उसके बाद we'll help you out with some assignments and stuff. And also जब ICA campus placements चालू होगा, we'll have two important things for you. Number one, the campus and the company wise preparation. And number two, we are going to be having the CA Monk exclusive campus placements also. So this is a win-win situation for the student job, है ना? So that is there. तो जो भी interested है, definitely you can register here, right? I'll just share the link in the chat box, right? And also a special offer for the folks, those who are going to be registering by tomorrow day end, right? You can use the coupon code GI23, right? GI23 का coupon code use कर सकते हो to avail the special offer, right? GIR23 to avail the discount out, right? I shared the link in a chat box. जो भी interested रहेगा, definitely you can join this workshop out. अगर कोई queries रहेगा, definitely you can call our team. They'll be happy to help you out with the queries as well. ठीक है, तो मैं दोनों टीम का नंबर पिंग कर देता हूँ. You can call them out for any of the queries. If you have any of the queries कि कैसे होगा क्या होगा, right? Or at the end of the session we'll also cover the queries out. ठीक है, just a second, I'll just also ping the link in the chat box itself for the Zoom, so that those who want to be part of this workshop can definitely join in. ठीक है, now moving to the next and very interesting part is the feedback, right? So we'll move to the feedback. So we'll ask the audience first, right, कि आपका क्या feedback था and what all things you felt like कि क्या improve होना चाहिए, right? So many people are saying, sir, this is eye opener. Yes, this is an eye opener, right? Because trust me, if you're targeting for top notch companies, if you're targeting for top notch कंपनीज आउट, ये तो बहुत कम ग्रिल हुआ है. अभी तो टेक्निकल मैंने गया ही नहीं हूं, बिकॉज उसने बोल दिया मेरे को इंडेक्स नहीं आता, राइट? इफ शी वुड हैव सेड कि मुझे इंडेक्स आता है, तब देखना था भाई, मैं उसको कहां कहां ले जाता ना वो. बट बिकॉज द प्रिपरेशन इज नीडेड, राइट? So that is there, है ना? तो it's completely fine. You spoke some of the questions very well. Some of the questions you definitely need to work on, right? So I'll go for one-on-one feedback. Number one, I'll request you to join from a laptop. I don't know, you've joined from a phone, looks like, because of which you are feeling thoda sa disconfident. Okay? Point number one to be noted. Those who are gonna be sitting for an interview, भैया लैपटॉप से कनेक्ट होना है. सर, I don't have a laptop. Amazon 15 days return policy. Hello, right? ठीक है, फ्री लैपटॉप गिफ्ट फ्रॉम माय साइड. Amazon 15 days, sorry 7 days, sorry, it has been changed to 7 days, right? So definitely you can try those out. Next is the few technical questions definitely you need to work on, but I like the way you said that I don't know, you were not bluffing at many places, so that is something which showcase that you're genuine to the things, but that also showcase that कि आपका basics of technical is very weak, because every second technical questions you are like I don't know sir, I don't know sir, right? So it was like कि भाई तो फिर if you're not technically that strong, again I need to think and reconsider my thought process. ठीक है, तो that is there. Work wise you might be good, but technical wise is again you need to work very very hard. ठीक है. Next, you mentioned regarding, so I asked regarding the market size of the clothing market. So many times what was happening with you was you were not listening the questions carefully. ठीक है, बहुत बार ये होता है कि हम क्वेश्चन सुन नहीं रहे, लाइक द मटेरियलिटी क्वेश्चन, यू जस्ट स्टार्टेड आंसरिंग. अरे आई वाज आस्किंग कि भाई कैसे निकालना, राइट? यू आर आंसरिंग कि मटेरियलिटी क्या होता है एंड ऑल दिस स्टफ, राइट? सो प्लीज डू अंडरस्टैंड दैट वंस यू आर आस्क्ड एनी ऑफ द क्वेश्चन, यू नीड टू लिसन आउट वेरी वेरी केयरफुली. दैट इज द सेकंड स्किल व्हिच यू नीड टू वर्क ऑन. ठीक है, फर्स्ट इज द टेक्निकल, सेकंड इज द लिसनिंग स्किल्स. इंट्रोडक्शन वाज गुड. थर्ड इज द कैमरा पार्ट व्हिच आई जस्ट मेंशन आउट. फोर्थ, इंडेक्स फ्रंट एक्सपेक्टेड, भैया लिख के रख लो, दिल दिमाग कलेजे में जहां डालना है डाल लो. Put it wherever you want. You are supposed to read index as well. There's no option like sir I don't know, I have skipped the index 115 116 or some index out. No, अभी तो मैं defer text पे नहीं गया. ठीक है, the time I go to the defer text out, it's like okay, let's not complicate the things, but yes, deferred tax is again one of the favorite area. Few people are like worried. It's completely fine, we'll help you out in the training workshop. अभी हमारा आई थिंक टेक्निकल बचा हुआ है ना, तो राधिका आप टेंशन मत लो, अभी आपका इनिशियल पार्ट हो चुका है तो इसलिए आपका अच्छा था, बट टेक्निकल के लिए अभी हम और प्रिपेयर करेंगे उसमें, ठीक है. तो दैट इज देयर. और रेवेन्यू लीकेज का भी अगेन यू डिडंट गिव अ मच गुड आंसर व्हिच वाज एक्सपेक्टेड, एंड द रेड फ्लैग्स, सो दिस आर द टर्म्स व्हिच द इंटरव्यू इज गोना बी यूजिंग. That is there. Now you have mentioned something regarding the RBI quiz, right? आपने बोला RBI quiz, ठीक है. आपने ही बोला RBI quiz, मैंने नहीं लिखा है, आप ही ने लिखा है रेज्यूम में. चलो मैं पूछ लिया क्या हुआ है, रिसेंट क्विज बताओ RBI के रिलेटेड. आई आस्क्ड यू इन्फ्लेशन का, राइट? सो यू गॉट कंफ्यूज्ड, आपने उल्टा बोल दिया पूरा, ठीक है. एंड अगेन यू आर लाइक ओ माय गॉड, इससे तो इन्फ्लेशन बढ़ जाएगा, मैंने तो नहीं सोचा था, राइट? तो आपने फ्लो 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 में खत्म कर दिया वो क्वेश्चन, right? It's not like that. First think, process, then answer. Think, process, answer, right? Very simple step. So you're like think, answer, right? तो process नहीं हुआ, वो बाद में process हुआ बोलने के बाद. It's like मतलब सोच के बोलो, बोल के मत सोचो. आपका दूसरा वाला केस था, ठीक है. So that is something which is supposed to be worked on, and this also happened because I was in continuous hammering on you. है ना, क्वेश्चन 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 क्वेश्चन, आंसर 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 आंसर, राइट? तो यू आर लाइक ओके नहीं आ रहा है, ओके नहीं आ रहा है, कुछ तो दे देती हूँ, कुछ तो दे देती हूँ, राइट? तो अगेन दिस इज समथिंग व्हिच हैपेंस वंस यू परफॉर्म इनटू द प्रेशर, राइट? तो ये चीज बहुत होता है. भले आपको अभी मैं आराम से पूछूंगा ना कि क्या है आरबीआई का इन्फ्लेशन रेट, रेपो रेट, राइट? तो यू विल बी आंसर वेरी कामली, वेरी पोलाइटली, बट यू नीड टू प्रिपेयर इट ऑन द प्रेशराइज एनवायरमेंट, ठीक है. तो वो चीज होगी जब हम आपको और उसके लिए प्रिपेयर कराएंगे. कारो पार्ट एक्सपेक्टेड नहीं था कि नहीं बोलोगे, because Caro is something which everyone speaks about, and the fraud part which everyone speaks about, because audit में सबसे पहली चीज हम fraud ही सीखते हैं, right? So fraud part was expected that you are going to be speaking on the same, right? And that is something which you're going to be answering out, ठीक है. Work on the technical questions. Again I mentioned out balance confirmation का आपने बहुत गलत आंसर दिया, which was a dissatisfying for me. What I said was कि आप balance confirmation नहीं ले पा रहे हो, ठीक है. You directly said I'll go to management, or you also said I'll perform the procedure, but I was looking for one important word. अगर आपको बैलेंस कंफर्मेशन नहीं मिलता है, हम उसका सब्सिक्वेंट रिसीट्स चेक करते हैं मैम, ठीक है. ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. इफ यू आर नॉट गेटिंग अ बैलेंस कंफर्मेशन, यू चेक द सब्सिक्वेंट रिसीट्स ऑफ दैट डेटर्स, कि बाद में वो पैसा मिल गया है क्या. अगर बाद में मिल गया तो कंफर्मेशन का क्या जरूरत. से फॉर एग्जाम्पल 1 लाख वॉज आउटस्टैंडिंग इन द मंथ ऑफ मे, राइट? और वो आपका पैसा आ गया है जून में, March, है ना. 1 lakh was outstanding in the month of March. You're auditing in the month of September. The money was received in June. हो गया ना भाई, पैसा आ गया तो काय का confirmation? That means that was the outstanding amount, right? One of the way to test this out is very very important. Subsequent transactions भी हम check करते हैं, और subsequent का payments भी check करते हैं, right? So this is something which you forget this out, because ये टर्म्स एक्सपेक्टेड हैं इफ यू आर स्टैंडिंग एंड सिटिंग फॉर द ऑडिट, स्टैट्यूटरी ऑडिट, राइट? वाज दिस फॉर सी इंटर स्टूडेंट्स? यस, यू कैन आल्सो वाच द सेम, राइट? सी इंटर स्टूडेंट्स कैन आल्सो वाच द सेम, बिकॉज़ दिस इज समथिंग एक्सपेक्टेड फॉर लिस्टेड का. आई हैव जस्ट मेंशन्ड. फ्रॉड का आई हैव मेंशन्ड. कारो का आई हैव मेंशन्ड आउट. फ्रॉड के लिए यू आर एक्सटेंडिंग योर स्टोरी लाइन वेरी वेरी बिग. कहीं कहीं है ना स्टोरी लाइन, कट इट शॉर्ट टू द पॉइंट, है ना, एंड ट्राई टू ब्रिंग सम jargon वर्ड्स एज वेल, ठीक है. तो दैट इज देयर. रेस्ट आई थिंक यू परफॉर्म वेरी वेल, है ना. तो दैट इज देयर, है ना. तो आई थिंक इट वेंट वेरी वेरी वेल. सर प्लीज सर, टेक्निकल इंटरव्यू फॉर ट्रांसफर प्राइसिंग डेफिनेटली विल प्लान दिस आउट. हाँ, मटेरियलिटी के लिए आपको देखो, सबसे पहले मटेरियलिटी के लिए यू जस्ट नीड टू सी, यू सेड पीएनएल का हम निकालेंगे, नहीं, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. Please read the aspects how you're going to be calculating the mortality. One is the transaction level, one is the again account level. तो हम लोग पूरा उसका बनाया के रखें. Again you'll get a capstone project we are going to be giving you there. तो वहां पे आपको समझ में आएगा कि कैसे mortality निकालते हैं. And there's no only one parameter. Please do understand. We can also take a mortality based on the capital also. We can also take a mortality based on revenue also. But you should be aware of कि capital पे कब लेते हैं और revenue पे कब लेते हैं. Say for example, if a company is into the real estate, हम उसका कैपिटल लेते हैं मटेरियलिटी निकालने के लिए. हेलो, राइट? Those who don't know, that is expected to read, ठीक है. और हम सब पढ़वाएंगे अभी आपको जीआईआर में, टेंशन मत लो. अभी आपका टेक्निकल सेशन बचा हुआ है जो एग्जिस्टिंग बैच वाले हैं, राइट? और जिनका नहीं है तो डोंट वरी, विल कवर एवरीथिंग इन आवर ट्रेनिंग वर्कशॉप. तो दिस इज व्हाट वी कवर विद आवर मेंटर्स आल्सो, एंड दिस इज व्हाट वी आर गोना बी बिल्डिंग आउट, ठीक है. So that is there, है ना. तो which you are gonna be working on. So I think rest everything went right, rest everything went great, right? So that is what we want to discuss out. Any questions anyone has, right? I think it's already 6. अगर किसी को कोई questions है, anything which you want to ask, right? Definitely you can put it on a chat box. The people those who have connected from a YouTube live, I hope you enjoying the session, right? You can also click a like, or like दबा दो यार, अच्छा लगता है, अच्छा लगता है सही में, right? तो दैट इज देयर. रेवेन्यू लीकेजेस, यस, सो अगेन टेक्निकल क्वेश्चंस का तो एक डिटेल में और डिस्कशन करेंगे, है ना. एक सेशन बहुत कम है, बहुत छोटा है, राइट? बट ट्रस्ट मी, रेवेन्यू देखो 1 घंटा निकल भी गया, पता भी नहीं चला. ठीक है. राधिका बेचारी बोल रही है कहाँ फंस गई, मैंने रेज्यूम भेज दिया सर को. राधिका इट्स कंप्लीटली फाइन, ठीक है, टेंशन मत लो. ठीक
यस
है.
सर।
गुस्सा तो नहीं हो?
बिल्कुल नहीं सर।
अच्छा. हम लोग आपको प्रेफर करते हैं कि आप लाइव मोड में ही देखो, बिकॉज लाइव में देखोगे तो ही मजा आएगा, लाइव में देखोगे तो ही समझ में आएगा, राइट? इज जीआर हेल्पफुल फॉर द स्टूडेंट्स गोइंग टू दुबई? द आंसर इज यस. तो हमारा प्लेसमेंट कमिटी भी बनता है, वेयर सम स्टूडेंट्स दोज आर टारगेटिंग फॉर दुबई, स्पेशली उनके लिए हम एक टीम बनाते हैं कि इन स्टूडेंट्स को दुबई भेजना है. ठीक है. तो वी हैव लॉट ऑफ मेंटर्स दोज हु आर वर्किंग इन दुबई. तो यस्टरडे इटसेल्फ आई वाज टॉकिंग टू माय वन ऑफ माय मेंटर. तो वो बोला कि देखो मैंने 4 लोगों को दुबई ला लिया है. तो आई वाज वेरी हैप्पी कि that is what is happening. And one of the student from our previous batch is working in Dubai. Priyanka is there. So she also has a good references. Plus our mentors is also from Dubai. So we are going to be helping you out. Session on financial modeling, definitely I'll plan this out. Upcoming week में आ जाएगा. Another mock interview. जवाब बोलो तब ले लेंगे. Right, sir, can we call the interviewer by their names? Generally in a big four you can call they by their names. In corporates you are expected to say sir. सर रेज्यूम पे आपने बोला था टिप्स देंगे. इनका रेज्यूम बहुत ऑलमोस्ट परफेक्ट है ना, तो वो अभी मैं नहीं दे सकता बिकॉज अगेन टाइम बहुत एक्सटेंड हो जाएगा. क्योंकि रेज्यूम रिव्यू एक अलग से बहुत लंबा प्रोसेस है, राइट, जिसमें हम 2 दिन का सेशन लेते हैं. ठीक है, 2 दिन मतलब 6 घंटे. यू कैन एक्सपेक्ट द सेम. हाउ टू प्रेजेंट अ रेज्यूम, जिन्हें देखना है, एक मैंने यूट्यूब पे वीडियो डाल के रखा है कैसे रेज्यूम बनाना. यू कैन डेफिनेटली फॉलो द सेम. सर इन आईसीआई कैंपस देयर आर सम ओवरसीज प्लेसमेंट, हाउ टू प्रिपेयर फॉर द सेम? ओवरसीज के लिए अगेन ऐसा कोई स्पेसिफिक प्रिपरेशंस नहीं चाहिए होता है, बट यस यू नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड, प्रिपेयर बेस्ड ऑन अ कंपनी लेवल, which is again going to be covered once the campus placement starts. तो हमारा एक मेगा प्रिपरेशन बूट कैंप आता है, which is again a part of GIR. ठीक है. FDD के लिए we'll have a separate session because FDD itself is a very big module. तो उसके लिए we'll have a separate session. Wanted to do career in forensic audit. What should be right now? Forensic audit में start करना है, 2 options. Start with internal audit or you can also start with FDD and then you can switch to forensic audit अगर नहीं मिल रहा है तो. ठीक है. What should I study till results? Again, इसके लिए you need to work on your analytical skills also, somewhat financial modeling part and also somewhat the presentation part and the communication part. ठीक है. Sir, if I'm giving an interview right now at Big Four, after results, will they help me? So again, if you're giving the interviews right now, after results, they are gonna be asking you to कि भाई आपका पे बढ़ जाएगा, that is one thing. But you're restricting yourself with the choices after results, है ना? तो please do understand this. ठीक है. Batch size of GIR, generally next batch size will somewhere around 200 odd people, but don't worry about the same because everyone is gonna be allocated a personal mentor with you folks. Sir, GIR is applicable for graduate students. The answer is yes, but I don't know आप कौन से graduation mode से हो, right? तो you can just mention in a chat box, so I can cover the same. Sir, is there anyone who had articleship and IDT, so he or she won't be able to relate the practical experience of articleship? तो प्राची don't worry, हमारे लाइव इंडस्ट्री असाइनमेंट से भले आपका आर्टिकलशिप भी नहीं हुआ तो टेंशन मत लो. हम आपको ऐसे असाइनमेंट देंगे जो आपने रेज्यूम में डाल देना, वो करने के बाद आपका आर्टिकलशिप भी हो जाएगा, सब कुछ हो जाएगा. ठीक है. तो उस चीज का हमने प्रॉब्लम्स रिजॉल्व कर दिया है. ठीक है. सर इतना ओपनली बोलते हो. हाँ भाई, क्यों क्यों नहीं बोले, मेहनत की है भाई. ठीक है. इज देयर एनी स्कोप टू वर्क विद सीएमओंक? आ जाओ भाई, कभी भी आ जाओ, मोस्ट वेलकम. सर व्हाट इफ वी कंफ्यूज बिटवीन द डिपार्टमेंट टू चूज? हाँ, तो डोंट वरी, हमारा इस पे हम लोग है ना, हर एक इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट्स आते हैं, 9 डिफरेंट इंडस्ट्री एक्सपर्ट्स, 9 डिफरेंट डोमेन्स. मेंटर्स आएंगे, समझाएंगे. एक आपको पीडीएफ मिलेगा, उसको आप पढ़ो, समझो, प्रोज एंड कॉन्स डिसाइड करो, एक इलेक्टिव चूज करो कौन सा डोमेन में जाना है. नहीं समझ में आ रहा, और एक इलेक्टिव के वीडियोस आपको मिल जाएंगे. ठीक है, तो डोंट वरी. ठीक है. कैन यू सजेस्ट एनी फॉरेन लैंग्वेज कोर्स, एज इन फॉरेन लैंग्वेज कोर्स फॉर? तो डिपेंडिंग ऑन विच कंट्री यू आर टारगेटिंग टू मूव, so that is there, you know. What do you expect us to ask for? Do you have any questions for me? तो इसका मैंने एक लिस्ट ऑफ क्वेश्चन शेयर किया है कि कौन कौन से क्वेश्चंस पूछ सकते हो. आई डोंट नो राधिका ने पूछा क्यों नहीं, बट ठीक है, इट्स कंप्लीटली फाइन. Sir, what if we don't identify any fraud or red flags? So again, you need to answer this smartly कि आपने कोई identify नहीं किया, but आपने कुछ और चीजें notice की थी, right? So that is there. What do you suggest what to do after CA final exams? भाई GIR आ जाओ, GIR से अच्छी कोई चीज नहीं है. I think lot of people are from GIR. Jay can give a live feedback. Jay दे सकता है. I think Jay हमारी बैच का टॉपर है GIR का. Yes, Jay, you can give a live feedback. People are asking for the same. Lot of people have joined, I think. Yes, Jay, please, you can unmute. You can share your experience. It's completely fine, yaar. Unable to unmute. So sorry. अभी try कर लो एक बार unmute करके देखो.
Yeah.
Yes, perfect. You can share your feedback, right? कि आपको कैसा लगा GR batch 22? आप 22 के student हो तो बता सकते हो. Honest opinion.
So very very good, particularly for the CA student, because exams के चक्करों में we just tend to confine ourselves to the books and a very close proximal friends and limited world. So this course has really helped to step outside your comfort zone and also to familiarize with the even unnoticeable concepts and to grow yourself as a person, not only in terms of technical knowledge, but also on the grounds of personal growth.
Right. So great. I think अभी तो बहुत सारी चीजें हम आपके लिए कर रहे हैं, right? Pre-result batch is very मतलब it's very close to my heart because हम बहुत ज्यादा एफर्ट लेते हैं प्री रिजल्ट बैच के लिए. पोस्ट रिजल्ट के लिए भी लेते हैं, बट पोस्ट रिजल्ट में स्टूडेंट्स का ऑब्जेक्टिव चेंज हो जाता है. उसका ऑब्जेक्टिव रहता है सिर्फ जॉब. प्री रिजल्ट बैच में स्टूडेंट का ऑब्जेक्टिव इज लाइक स्किल्स, जॉब, कम्युनिकेशन, नेटवर्किंग, एवरीथिंग. ठीक है, तो दैट इज मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ द प्री रिजल्ट बैच आउट, राइट? सर, व्हाट इफ द रिजल्ट्स इज नॉट पॉजिटिव आफ्टर जीआर? डोंट वरी, राइट? आप अगली बैच में आ जाना जब दिसंबर में होगी. आई थिंक तब हमारी कौन सी चलेगी, 27-28 चलेगी, राइट? तो उस टाइम आप उस बैच में आ जाना, फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट, पैसा वैसा नहीं मांगेंगे. ठीक है. समथिंग फॉर आर्टिकलशिप, एक और सेशन लेंगे आर्टिकलशिप का. दुबई के लिए एक और सेशन हो रहा है, डोंट वरी. नेक्स्ट GR applicable for BCom graduates? The answer is yes, they are applicable for BCom graduates as well. But थोड़ी बहुत चीजें आपके लिए टेक्निकल हो जाएगी बिकॉज थोड़ा सा एडवांस लेवल हम लेके जाएंगे. बट अगेन यू कैन ऑल्सो चेक द सेम आउट. ठीक है. I think any more doubts, any more questions out if I have left? Is VBA useful for audit profiles? Generally not for audit, but if you're targeting IB related roles, तो थोड़ा सा advantage हो जाता है. Do we get references in companies also? So हमारे mentors बहुत सारे हैं, right? We are working with more than 500 plus mentors out. तो जब आप PI लेते हो plus daily every day, अगर आप LinkedIn जाके check करना कभी मेरा, right? You will find hell lot of mentors joining every day. ठीक है, तो दे डू रेफर यू आउट इफ यू परफॉर्म वेल. तो रेफरेंस तो मिल ही जाता है, दैट इज देयर. ठीक है. व्हाट इज द प्लेसमेंट रेट ऑफ अ जीआर बैच? अगेन 100% तो हो ही जाता है टिल द बैच इज कंप्लीटेड, बिकॉज सब सीएज है ना, तो हम लोग पर्सनली उस पर ध्यान रखते हैं. ठीक है. बट ऑन पेपर कहीं ऐसा नहीं है कि 100% है, बट अगेन आई हैव सीन एवरीवन गेट प्लेस्ड बिकॉज आई गॉट द मैसेजेस ऑफ ऑल माय स्टूडेंट्स, राइट? इफ वी वांट टू ज्वाइन एज अ मेंटर, नहीं, उसके लिए फिर देयर इज अ प्री डिफाइंड चेकलिस्ट, है ना, कि आपका एक्सपीरियंस 2 साल का होना, राइट? आप पर्टिकुलर इंडस्ट्री में होना, तो यू कैन अप्लाई द सेम. फिर देन विल शॉर्टलिस्ट यू इफ यू वांट टू बिकम अ मेंटर और नॉट, राइट? So great. I think good to see everyone joining in, right? And in fact, good to see the questions out. Those who have any prerequisites for the GR batch, right? 2 prerequisites: come with an open mindset, come with a good internet connectivity and laptop. That's it. Or phone is also fine, but just come with a good internet connectivity, open mindset, and yes. When you're launching GR for C articleship, definitely I'll plan this out. Sir, fluency over English is very important for getting jobs in corporate. Yes, very important. Normal English is sufficient, but at least you should be good enough to speak in English. That is important. थोड़ा तो बोलते आना चाहिए ना, तो वो expected रहता है. ठीक है. तो great. I think I've tried to cover all the doubts, right? So great, है ना? Thanks everyone for joining in. I hope you have enjoyed the session. यार feedback तो लिख दो सेशन का जाने से पहले यार, कैसा लगा बता दो. अरे बता भी दो, लिख दो चैट बॉक्स पे. हाउ डिड यू फाउंड द सेशन आउट? डिड यू फाउंड द सेशन हेल्पफुल? इफ यू फाउंड द सेशन हेल्पफुल, विल प्लान मोर सेशंस इन अपकमिंग डेज. वेरी यूजफुल, राइट? आई ओपनर फॉर लॉट ऑफ पीपल, राइट? सो ग्रेट, है ना? थैंक्स 10 on 10. थैंक यू, थैंक्स फॉर दिस, है ना? थैंक्स, रियली गुड टू सी दिस. यस, अपकमिंग जीआर स्टूडेंट मिलते हैं आपको जीआर में। कोई बोल रहा है जीआर में आएंगे, अरे सर बिल्कुल, है ना, टेंशन मत लो, वहां तो और एडवांस लेवल पे पहुंच जाओगे। ठीक है, so great, है ना। Thanks guys, thanks for joining in, and I'll request you to please start preparing yourself because this is what is needed in a corporate. वहाँ ये सब नहीं चलेगा, है ना, कि मैंने किताब ही पढ़ के आया भैया। वहाँ वो आपको ग्रिल करेगा and he is expecting an answer and you are supposed to speak those answers out. ठीक है, so great guys, see you soon, right, and stay connected. Bye bye, thank you. Yes, let's meet in GI 23. Thank you. ठीक है, bye bye.